First at 5, we are seeking solutions to the rising costs of burying a loved one. New information tonight shows funeral homes are taking advantage of grieving families. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Pepper Baker.
I'm Rudy Williams. Now, a new study by the Better Business Bureau uncovered hundreds of funeral home violations in a nationwide investigation. Our Desmond Nugent joins us now. And Desmond, how did the BBB come up with these findings?
Rudy, Pepper, Randy Hutchinson with the BBB of the Mid-South says the Federal Trade Commission last year uncovered calls to 250 funeral homes across the country to ask about funeral costs. They found out more than 15% of those facilities violated funeral rules. Preparing to bury your loved one is a traumatic situation for anyone. Being aware of what you're paying can also be a trying process.
Of course, we didn't have those monies up front, so I had to max out all my credit cards.
Kevelyn Hicks recently buried her brother, Calvin Hicks, who authorities say was shot and killed in Orange Mound earlier this month while trying to help someone change a tire. Hicks's death left his 8 children behind and a family that owed $17,000 in funeral costs.
We buried him on a Sunday. It costs extra to bury him on a Sunday, so I mean, it's a slew of things.
Randy Hutchinson with the Better Business Bureau of the Mid-South says not all families know what questions to ask during the process of burying a loved one. Last year, the Federal Trade Commission, through an investigation, discovered funeral homes were not in compliance of funeral rules, pretty much across the board.
Well, some of them just refused to answer questions about pricing at all or provided inconsistent pricing. That was 38 out of the 39 cases in which there was some sort of violation.
So what are some of your rights? The FTC suggests to buy only the funeral arrangements you want, get a written itemized price list when visiting funeral home, and receive a written statement after deciding the services you want before paying. We reached out to more than a dozen Memphis area funeral homes for comments. One funeral home representative who didn't want to go on camera says violations can range between $25,000 to more than $50,000. We have a checklist of the things you need to know before making that first phone call to a funeral home. To learn more, go to abc24.com/now. Rudy, Pepper.